If you want to design presentations and websites in minutes without ever touching a design template, well, that's what Gamma promises to help you do. Basically, spend less time formatting and more time nailing the content. So that sounded pretty good to me, so I signed up. I tested it building a real workshop deck last week. And in this video, I'm going to tell you what was great, what I wish I'd done differently, and whether or not I think Gamma can actually save you time in your business. So I'm Laura Zovelson, and this is the Gen Expert Show. I'm a former professor, longtime consultant, and making PowerPoints is central to pretty much everything I do. And it's also the bane of my existence. I hate it. I don't like trying to get everything to line up. I can't get the text to group with the shape and then it gets ungrouped. Obviously, I have some strong feelings here. So I kept seeing Gamma on those lists of AI tools that are like fundamentally change the way you work. And so I've been meaning to give it a try out. So when I had the workshop coming up for the Women Who Build AI community, I was really hoping I could save some time with it. So, as long as I was going in, I thought I'd bring you all along for the ride. But before I go deep, let me save you the 20 minutes I lost and the super annoyance of accidentally signing up for the wrong tool entirely. So, here's what happened. I typed in Gamma AI into my browser. That is not the slide tool. It is a different product. So then I went to Google and I searched for Gamma AI, and the first sponsored result that came back was something called GenSpark. So GenSpark is a Gamma competitor, and it calls itself the AI PowerPoint generator for fast, clean slides. So the interface looked a lot like Gamma, and it was sitting right there at the top of the page, and I wasn't paying super much attention. I went in, signed up, and then realized it wasn't even what I was looking for. So the correct URL is Gamma app, not Gamma AI, and not the first sponsored result. So go ahead and bookmark it before you do anything else, and you will already have a better experience than I did. All right, so let me tell you about the experiment. So I had my outline in Google Docs, but I also have my talking notes in there about the key points I wanted to make on each slide. So I copy pasted the whole thing in, and then I realized I was going to have to strip out the notes because I didn't actually want them to appear on the slides. So learning point for next time. And then I saw that the way you tell Gamma what text goes on each slide is you put 3 dashes between the content. So I did that, and then I just hit the go button. It did ask what kind of images I wanted. And so since at the time I was on the free plan, I had it grab free stock images and then I hit the button again. And it worked. Every slide populated and the structure came back, exactly the way I mapped it. So the right stuff was on the right slides. So that's the good news. The not as good news is this is what it came out. It was fine, but I just wasn't happy with the images and it looked kind of monotone. And those aren't my brand colors or fonts. Kind of looked like a deck somebody made for a company they were planning to leave. So, not really something I was comfortable using as a final product. So, I did what you'd probably do. I went slide by slide and I replaced all of the images the AI picked with images that I liked. So, if you're interested in trying Gamma and having it actually save you time, here's how I would do it. First, before you do the outline, you got to go into Gamma and do the setup. So you can enter your brand colors, your fonts, you can pick a theme. So get all of that in place first and then drop the outline in. So that's what I did for round three. I actually did this after I gave the presentation because I just wanted to see if I set it up differently, would I get a better output? So the V3 is noticeably better than the V1, right? There's less to fix. It actually looks like it belongs to the same brand as my other materials. But, and I'm going to be honest about this, better is doing a little work in that sentence because I still wanted to replace about 90% of the images. I still wanted more color variation on the slides, just a little more personality. So it got closer, but didn't get all the way there. So again, this is another great example of AI being able to do 80%, but you're going to have to just go in with the expectation that you're going to have to do the other 20% to get it over the line, right? Honest assessment. I probably need to spend about an hour in Gamma's tutorials before my next run. I want to learn more about the layout and color controls. I want to figure out how to set up templates the way I had in Google Slides. And there actually is a whole thing where you can put in the prompts. And I think if I prompt it better, I'm going to get even closer to what I'm really looking for in the final output. So here's the part that you need to hear. I am probably not going to do that until I have another workshop to give. And that's how I think you should be introducing any new tool into your work. So don't learn it in the abstract because that just feels like a time suck. Wait until you have something real to get done and then let that project be your tutorial because the learning is going to stick because it's going to be more attached to your actual work. So, am I going to keep using it? Yeah. I think it's the best shot I have at digging myself out of slide deck hell. And I see a real time saving opportunity here. And that's worth it to me to pay for. And apparently, it can do some other cool stuff. Like I think it automates carousel creation, it can do landing page design, but I actually can't vouch for that yet because I haven't tried it. So, look, more importantly, do I think you should try it? Well, here's the filter I would give. How often do you make decks, right? If it is a regular part of your work, like it is with mine, workshops and media kits and whatever, you will probably get an ROI off of it in terms of time savings pretty quickly. If you only do decks like twice a year, probably not. It's probably not worth it. The second filter, though, is how particular are you about the way your slides look? Look, I had a corporate gig way back, and at one point, I swear the marketing department spent more time on slide craft for internal presentations than they did on actual marketing. So you will note that I don't do that job anymore. So if you want that level of control, you are probably better off in something like Canva or PowerPoint. Okay. Now, last thing, if you keep saving lists of tools and not trying any of them, here are the two videos you need to watch next.